Well, if you're thinking of coming to Whinwhistle, then let's have a look around and see what's on offer. Obviously, I'm staying in one of the two shepherd's huts, and very comfortable they are. And the huts are situated right next to Keeper's Lake, which has got some incredible perch in there, some big fish that go over £4. And over there, not too far over there, got the River Blackwater that runs all the way down, about a mile section of the river. So there's 3 lakes to fish here and a section of the river. In fact where that tree is there, that's the far bank of the river. Beautiful place in Hampshire, a town near East Wellow. So this is Keeper's Lake. You can see it's quite a long lake. They have a lot of matches on here in the winter time. Although it's not heavily booked with matches, so don't worry about trying to get a day ticket, because you certainly will. I think this is roughly where I fished last November when I come down with Andy. They put some new platforms in. They look great, fantastic. I'm probably going to be fishing this lake tomorrow. I have to look out for that video. Over there is got a tackle shop there, which is really well kitted out. If you've seen my video from November last year, there's a good look at the tackle shop, and then right next to it is the Whinwhistle bar. They do all sorts in there: coffees, teas, beer, lagers, wine, and great food. Well worth a visit. And also they motorhomes as well. So if you've got a motorhome, you can hook up, book in, and away you go. This is the only island on Keeper's Lake, so obviously that's going to be a feature for fish to mooch around in. Very nice lake. Lots of margin features as well. I think this is the peg that I fished last November, and I think Andy was on the one next to that. Down there by the tree. Looks very perchy. Lots of lily pads dying off now, because we're in October, early October. Soon be winter. This looks an interesting swim as well, number 7. Again, features down to your left. A lot of margin cover to your right. So in fact you've got all that corner, because the next swim is it's over there. So you've got lots of space there. And that's Keeper's Lake. Very pretty. Gorgeous. Now right next to Keeper's Lake is another lake that I've not fished, not yet anyway, and it's platforms on the far bank. I assume you can fish this both banks. I'll have to find that out. I must admit I'm drawn to this side of the bank. Look at all these features. And it does hold some big perch. John, the tackle shop manager, was telling me this is can be a hard lake at times. But as you can see, look at them willows, lovely aren't they? Look at the features, lily pads, overhanging willows, loads of pads, loads of features. It's very long, very narrow. It's almost like canal shaped. Looks absolutely lovely. And the River Blackwater is just down there. That runs all the way along this stretch. So look at this here. It's full of, in a canopy of trees. It's like a big bowl shape. So if you was over there, you'd cast maybe a feeder right over to this bank. Looks very inviting. Well, I've just detoured off railway. It's a stone's throw away. It's the lower section of the Blackwater on the Whinwhistle Fishery. Looks very inviting, especially underneath the trees there. Not much flow, but name me a river that's got a lot of flow at the moment. I say it's early October. Still crying out for more rain. Right, so I've come back off of the river now, and there's a bridge that walks over. And this, I believe, is the specimen lake called Islands. Some big carp in here, some big bream as well, some double figures. Looks like a lake with a few surprises. So there we go, Island Lake, carp care. Minimum 42-inch landing net, cradle required, carp care kit, micro and barbless hooks, no braided line, minimum 12-pound main line, no fixed leads, and check the bait rules, which is on the Whinwhistle website. So it's narrow in that corner there. Then as you move along, it starts opening out. Natural banks. I think there's a combination of a few small islands on here. I think the carp go to just over £40. I think the lake record is 41. Like I say, there's some good sized bream in here as well. I think there's a bit of everything. It's a beautiful lake, it really is. Loads of features, as you would imagine. So if you're fishing or booked in, you have to book in to fish the carp lake. I guess your parking is along there, and then just trolley your tackle to where you want to fish. And of course there's more parking there as well. So there's a swim. Got an island to cast to. You can tell why it's called Island Lake. There's islands everywhere, which, as we all know, are fish holding areas. All natural swims. Oh, that's what I've seen so far anyway. Again, another island out in front of you. And of course, don't forget those margins, because that's where most of the big fish tend to hole up, right under your feet. So there's another little parking area. You obviously can't go past the log. There's a platform swim there. Natural inlet aids to good water quality. It's a lot of big double swims along here. So you'll be casting over to the island. No doubt that's where most people will be casting. But all this spank is all open, so if there's like 2 or 3 of you coming down, you could there's a good chance. I think they only don't let any more than 8 anglers on at any one time. I think, pretty sure that's the case. You can always check on the website. Looks an interesting swim, this one, right in the corner. Very interesting. Margins down there, over to there's like sort of boards across there, which just forms a structure, and then some overhanging trees. Looks inviting. So there's another little parking area. You obviously can't go past the log. There's a platform swim there. Natural inlet aids to good water quality. It's a lot of big double swims along here. So you'll be casting over to the island. No doubt that's where most people will be casting. But all this spank is all open, so if there's like 2 or 3 of you coming down, you could there's a good chance I think they only don't let any more than 8 anglers on at any one time, I think. Pretty sure that's the case. You can always check on the website. Looks an interesting swim, this one, right in the corner. Very interesting. Margins down there, over to there's like sort of boards across there, which just forms a structure, and then some overhanging trees. Looks inviting. So here's the view, or the other side of that peg I've just showed you there, that swim. So you'll be casting over to here, or down the side there, or under that tree. I'm pretty sure a lot of carp will patrol this bank. Another natural bank swim. This is quite a distance from that last swim I just showed you there. So a lot of these swims do give you lots of space. Again, features down the underneath your feet, left and the right, a little island over there and all, and a little tiny little island. No doubt you have to be careful. Looks like there's fish blowing the other side of that island there. Signs of fish, feeding fish. This is on the far side of the lake, so this is the other side of that, so they're feeding fish sort of about there, and this looks a cracking swim. Got plenty of space behind you. Bubbles come up just down there. Nice bit of water to fish there. Lots of features. Yeah, I like that. So I'm right over the other side now. So if you're going to fish these pegs, these will be the longest walk from the car park, or where you park your car. Bit of a gap to the next swim. Oh, just spooked a heron there. Here he goes. He spoilt his dinner. Well, this is interesting. You've got a lot of water to aim at here. Down the margins, left and right, and across over to the islands there. And that is the tour of the island lake. So on the way back, we'll look at the other swims on the railway, and then Keeper's Lake, the other side. So I find myself walking back over the bridge again. So there's Specimen Lake to my right, railway to the left. Let's go this scenic route. called the Row, actually. I'm calling it Railway. I knew it was something like that, but it's the Row. Yeah, very interesting lake, must admit. That's what I showed the other side of, where you got that big bowl there, so you could fish on here, cast a feeder right over to the other side. Now, autumn leaves are dropping. So I would imagine you can only fish it from this bank. Where all the platforms are. But lots of features, lots of lily pads. Here's the willows. Do love a willow, especially when it's overhanging into a lake. Looks great. So you can see that a lot of the swims have got features, mainly lily pads. So I correct myself, this is the Row, not the Railway Lake, the Row. So coming off the Rail Lake, we're now on the other side of Keeper's Lake. So this corner peg by the road, or the path that leads into the fishery, is peg 6. That's in the corner. Loads of lily pads, loads of features, and a nice island to fish up to. It's a stunning lake, this is. I'm getting out of breath all this walking. Disabled swims, little ramp there. You'll notice that Whinwhistle cater for everybody. Short-term stay, and it says on there disabled parking. And like I say, if you look at the video that I did back in November, you'll see more detailed footage of the Whinwhistle course fishery, bait and tackle shop and caff. Also toilets, shower, ladies and disabled toilets as well. So I'm now back out on the bank of Keeper's Lake. Along the side there is the cafe and bar area. I'm heading back now towards the shepherd's hut. What an enjoyable walk that was. Checking out the 3 lakes and sections of the river. This lake also has quite a few carp, mixed species. Plenty of carp in here, you know, from £5 up to 20, maybe a little bit bigger as well. Some decent perch, all sorts, chub, the odd chub. I think last November I had an wolf out of here as well. And there we go, we're now back at the shepherd's hut, where I'm going to spend the rest of my evening. I might sit out on the balcony and have a look at the lake. It's time, I think, to stick the kettle on and have a chill. Well, I hope you enjoyed that little tour of Whinwhistle Fishery and the lakes. And like I say, more details can be found on their website, which I'll put a link on underneath this video.